Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Oasis Live. Today, I'm going to talk about a topic that may or may not be a very popular topic, and you'll find out why in a minute. But this is something that is something that's very personal for me. Now, of course, my audience on Oasis Live is primarily single moms because we're talking about well, that's my population with Oasis Empowerment Zone. However, this topic is one that can be healthy for everybody. And I chose to talk about this topic today because there are a lot of people that are struggling in some certain areas. And um, let me just first acknowledge that these topic points are not mine. I just believe in why reinvent the wheel, right? And so as I was looking for some content on something else that I'm doing or a workshop that I'm preparing for, a keynote speech that I'm preparing for, I ran across this on crosswalk.com ministries. And today we're going to talk about dating while staying pure. For those who may not be Christian, or those that may not believe in celibacy or abstinence until marriage and those other things, I still want you to listen. I still want you to listen in, because it's not just about being a Christian, or it's not just about being saved. It's not just about being uh, in a certain religious organization. These are about setting healthy boundaries. And so dating while staying pure isn't just about sex. It's really about a whole mindset. It's about purity of your mindset. And so I'm going to give you 6 points on how to stay pure while dating. Now, I'm going to start with number 6 and I'm going to go backwards. The overall topic area is from Crosswalk Ministries, crosswalk.com ministries, but the content is mine because this is something that I seriously resonate with. So the first point that I'm going to make, which is point number 6, is have a right focus and be clear on your reasons for being pure. Now, I'm going to talk about it from the standpoint of my testimony. Many of you all know I didn't get married until I was 40 years old, but I had a daughter when I was 28, which meant that I was not always sexually pure, right? But when my daughter was about a year old, um, I made a decision that I wasn't going to have sex anymore until I got married, because I wanted to do things the right way. And that was really my reasoning. I had to take an introspective look at myself and my life and determine how I got off of the path of being pure or staying pure sexually. And so for the next 10 years of my life, from the time that I had my daughter, well, from the time that she was a year old until I got married at the age of 40, I made the decision that I was going to be celibate until I got married. And at that time, my spiritual relationship was growing. I was learning more about the right way to live, the way I believe, in terms of how I believe. And I'm unashamed about the fact that I am a Christian woman. I am a woman of faith. I am an ordained minister, pastor, and those things. So I'm unashamed about who I am. And so my focus at that time, even though I didn't know that that was the path that I was going on, my focus at that time was on being right and being righteous. And so the first thing I want to encourage you to do in all things. Now, again, some of these points are points that can be used in regard to dating or purity in dating, or dating while remaining pure, or these are things that can be used in many other areas of your life. You always want to have the right focus and be clear about your reason for doing what you're doing. And so get that right focus. Think about how you got into the relationships you got into, and make sure that your focus is clear. Very, very important. Now I'm going to go to number 5. Date someone on the same journey that you're on. It's very, very difficult to date someone whose mindset is different from yours, because you're always going to find yourself in an area of having to compromise in something. Now, when my husband and I were dating, of course, I was a single mother, lived by myself, and it was actually 6 months before I invited my husband, who is now my husband. If the Lord delays his coming, I'm just gonna say it like that. May 31st will be 20 years that we've been married. So I've been on this journey a long time. But my husband, at the time we were dating, at the time, he didn't pressure me because we were on the same journey. He was already an ordained minister. He had already been in ministry for many, many years. Now, in the spirit of transparency, my husband had been married twice before then and divorced. And he realized that there were some changes that he had to make in his life before he got into the relationship with me, or with the next person that God wanted to connect him with. And so we were on the same journey. We were in the same church. We were believing the same thing. So we were on the same journey. It wasn't very difficult for us to say, this is our commitment to, number one, ourselves. Number one, to God. Number two, ourselves. And number three, to each other, because we were on the same journey and we wanted the same things. Number 4, be honest with your partner. If this is something that you're not able to do, be honest with yourself and be honest with your partner. Because guess what? It's only going to cause frustration in your relationship. If your partner comes into the relationship with one expectation and you come in with a different expectation and you never talk about it, guess what? You're living in a falsehood. Every person, and I didn't date a lot. Now, I was celibate for 10 years until I met my husband. And so I maintained a standard of purity for those 10 years. Now, let me tell y'all, it wasn't always easy. I'm just going to be real, real honest with you all. I'm the first person to tell on myself. It wasn't always easy, but it was always necessary. And so there were times when I would meet people and, people that wanted to take me out on a date and that kind of thing. And of course, I didn't bring it up in the first sentence, but I did at some point, if that person felt like they wanted to get to know me a little bit better or wanted to take me on a second date, or, I always made sure that I let them know this is the life that I live. And I don't have a desire to change this life. I am a celibate woman. And so a lot of times when people see that as single mothers, they see that you have a kid, they don't really know, you could have adopted that kid or fostered that kid or had a kid out of wedlock or been widowed or divorced. They don't know. They just see you with a kid and they make certain assumptions and have certain expectations. Make sure that your expectations are very clear right up front. Be honest with your partner. Number 3, have an accountability partner. This is huge in so many areas of my life. I've had, at different points, I've had up to 4 different accountability partners. I still have accountability partners that one set of accountability partners I meet with weekly. Another set of accountability partners, or another accountability partner, I call him my global accountability partner, we meet every other week. And when I was celibate for 10 years, in those times when I was in a struggle, I called out to somebody and I said, hey, I need you to talk me off the ledge. I need you to pray for me. I'm struggling. I was honest. I'm struggling. And my accountability partners, fortunately, loved me enough to say, hey, you got this. You can do this. Because they knew how serious I was about making certain things right according to the way I knew them in my life. So have an accountability partner. At one point, I had an accountability partner for school. I had an accountability partner for business goals, and I still do. Have an accountability partner. Number two, establish healthy and realistic boundaries. Don't put yourself in a situation that is going to have an outcome that you don't like or that you don't expect. Now, when I was single, before I got married, if someone wanted to take me out on a date, I was very clear from the very beginning. My daughter is part of my dating circle. So I never put myself in a situation where I was in a situation that I couldn't get out of. Now, that's just the truth. My daughter got a lot of free dinners because she was always, she was always the person that hung out with me while I was dating. And a lot of the people that I went out with didn't quite understand it, but then I had to help them to understand that I was setting healthy boundaries for myself. And I was setting an example for my daughter. Because as a single woman, as a single mother, not everybody want to remain pure. Let's just be honest about it. Not everybody want to remain pure. But for those that desire to remain pure, I'm here to let you know you can do it. It's not always easy. I'm not naive. I did it. I struggled, but I did it. And it made getting married and joining with my husband that much more sacred. And so just because you made a mistake in the past, or maybe it wasn't a mistake, just because you engaged or indulged or whatever in the past, and you have a desire to change that, you can do it. Let me just say that. And then last but not least, this is really the most important one. Number one, I feel like the Emmy countdown. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Acknowledge your feelings about sex. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with your partner. I was very honest with my then boyfriend. I told him, it's not that I don't trust you. I don't trust me. It's been 10 years. Now, I was honest. And I told him, you handsome, all of those other good things. And the same thing that drew other women to you, because there was a lot of women that was drawn to my husband before he found me. Those same things that drew other women to him were the same things that drew me to him. Now, I had been single and celibate for so long, I was like, look here, I don't know if I want to date. Because I was enjoying my single celibate life with Christ. I was doing what I was encouraged to do by the Bible, and that's to spend time with God. However, I knew that the plans for my life was for me to be a wife and to have additional children. And so I acknowledged to him that I like you a lot, but no, you can't come to my house because I'm a single woman. And again, I was setting an example of purity for my daughter. And I'm thankful that my daughter, who will be 32 years old this year, who is married with her own husband and her own baby, followed the examples that I followed. Did she make mistakes along the way? Yep. But so did I. But she acknowledges, and so do I, that the example that I set for her was a good example. So I'm just here to tell you that there is an oasis. There is a safe place. There is a place where you can, a way that you can date while staying pure, if that's your desire. Not everybody have that desire. But if you want to know how, hit me up. Call me, text me. This is Dr. Ruby Live. I'm sorry, this is not Dr. Ruby Live. That comes next Friday. This is Oasis Live. If you'd like to sow into the Oasis Empowerment Zone, you can do so by Cash App. And if you'd like to call me, feel free to call me at 855-627-4748. That's 855-OASIS-4U. That's our phone number. Our website is www.oasisempowermentzone.com. And you can go on and take a look at all of our programming. This is Dr. Ruby with Oasis Live. Peace.
Oh, you brought an oasis right in the middle